Hi there, I'm Gisela Di Carlo, and I have a message for all of you listeners, and please listen to this message. I have become let me back up. I am have been living in the United States for about 40 years. This time, I was here before. I'm 83 years old. I have immigrated now fully and have become American citizen. And you may ask, after you've heard my message, why did I become American citizen? Well, one of the reasons is that I truly believe in America. I truly believe that the American people are good people, that the country is good, that we have a chance. The way just think if you were born in America and you went through the schooling system here, you probably learned how America first was conceived. There were people from all over the world that came by the message that America proclaimed when they became an independent country, when they became the United States, when the Constitution was ratified, when all of these brave men who proclaimed their independence from Britain and France, who were here and claimed and wanted to just chop up America and make it their own. Kick out the Native Americans and said, okay, now you're either French or British. Well, the people that came here, they did not look for that. They came because they believed in freedom and honor and independence. Okay, that was a little history lesson. What do we have now? What Just think about it. What are we? I'm neither Republican nor I'm Democrat. And please don't look and don't tell me everything is wonderful. No, nothing is wonderful. Nothing. America has become something that I don't recognize. I debated for 35 years, shall I become American? Because it hasn't been. It's not just Trump, and it's not just the Republicans. This has been going on for a long time. This is the culmination. This is when the pot is boiling over. And we don't know how to fix it. If you have an idea, please put it in the comments. Tell me of how to fix it. That nobody knows, apparently. But one thing is for sure, it has to be fixed. Because what's happening in Minneapolis, what's happening in all the states, and what's happening, the hate that is happening in this country is out of control. We have to fix it. Otherwise, it's all been for naught. All of the people that died for the freedom of this country, all of the people that came with the hopes, and yes, I mean the new immigrants too. When I was last year in November, I became American citizen. And let me tell you about that. There were 57 of us that were getting nationalized in Philadelphia. And I was one of the proud ones. Every one of those 57s, you could see in their faces how proud they were to become American citizen. The dream is still alive. It's still there. It's on life support. It's on life support. Trust me. But it's still there, especially with the new immigrants that are coming. And they're still coming. They're still being inaugurated. Why? Because of the promise. The promise. You know what? I feel like America is like religion. We all believe in Jesus somehow. Not all of us, but most of all the Christians believe in Jesus. They believe in a Savior. We don't know. We don't have any validation for that, but we believe it because that's the hope that we have in humanity. We need to believe in a good humanity. We have to believe that we are not all just running around with baseball clubs or guns and whatever and beat each other into submission. We can't do this. We can't live like this. And what is happening now with the media? The media is fanning the flames instead of calming the flames. Instead of saying, listen, talk to each other. Ask. I go around. I have many friends who believe, oh, I voted for Trump. I believe in Trump. Well, good for you. Why not? You know, maybe he is. It doesn't seem like he is the guy, but he has still a couple years. I don't believe that he will be the guy. He will not be the savior of America. We, the people, have to be the saviors. We, the people, have to know what we want. Do you ask yourself, do you know what you want? Do you know how America should be? And don't tell me, I want the Mayberry back of Andy Griffin. No, you can never go back. You can't even go back yesterday. What happened, happened. It will happen the rest of the time that you cannot ever go back. But what you can do, and that is the hope, you can make a resolution and say, from now on, I will be more engaged. The oversight committee in Congress says they want to be. We have to hold their feet to the fire and say, do your job. We pay you. You cannot sit by and say, well, they're not doing their job. No, they don't know. They don't do their job. The Democrats don't, and the Republicans don't either. All they do is see whatever they can grift and grab. It's sort of like the mob, We protect you. We protect you against us. We're going to rough you up. We're going to take your business. We're going to take your money, and your life. We're going to do everything in our power if you don't do our will. Well, that's not a good way of living. Don't you agree? We need to have a very, very good idea of what we want. And I know that may be difficult for many people, especially for people that have only been here from birth on, because they're spoiled. They didn't have to think, the government will do it. If I don't have enough money, I'll go to the government, they will give me some. If my children don't have anything to eat, the government will give me money for them to eat. Well, that is a nice idea, but we don't live in a utopia. We don't live, you know what? We all have to pay for that. What do you think? You think the politicians pay for that? No, us. The people that work, that pay taxes, we pay for that. And we don't ask our politicians, how are you going to pay for all of that when you make the rules? What is it that you need? We have to hold their feet to the fire. We have to tell them. I'll tell you a small little story. When I was young, I grew up in Berlin, Germany. I was born in 42, and I grew up in a tough time. The 50s in Germany were very tough. People didn't have much to eat yet. They had to rebuild their country. And in Berlin especially, Berlin was devastated, was almost razed to the ground. My mother would go out and put brick on brick, stone on stone to rebuild the neighbors' houses. We all lived in, most of us lived in apartment houses. There were no single houses, only on the outskirts of Berlin. They largely stayed without harm. Some of them did because of the shaking of the ground, that the foundations were damaged or the walls were damaged. But it wasn't as bad as the apartment houses. But the people rallied. The people did that. The people. Mostly women. The men were still, many of them, my father didn't come home till I think 49 or something like that. Most of the men weren't there, or they were dead. The women did it. And this time now, the women have to do it again. Women of America, rally, get engaged, talk to your neighbor. He may be a total MAGA. Well, that seems to be for the Democrats a dirty word, and to be a Democrat is for the Republicans a dirty word. Well, let's forget that. Let's not do that, because that does not foster life, progress, peace, freedom. All of those things America promised to the world, not just to America. Let's keep that promise. Let's revive that promise. And the only way to do that is educate your children of how America was born. From what I understand, what people tell me, I have a son in education and a stepson who is now in education. And they are telling me, no, they don't teach that. They don't teach how the pilgrims had to suffer, how we had to suffer afterwards. How many times after the two world wars that America was in, America was the promise. When Americans then went into Europe and fed Europe, Americans went and fed Berlin from the air. Thank God I was a recipient of that I was fed. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here. I would have probably died or died much younger because I had such insufficient food. So then the Americans were brave and compassionate and showed empathy. If we, and I'm going to use the F word here, fuck this up, nobody will come to the aid of America. I can promise you that. I travel all over the world, and I can tell you, all over the world, Americans are now, no, thank you. No, we really don't want you here. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. And I'm ashamed of that. The reason I became American citizen, because we have to have people that really believe in America, in the America that has compassion for all people, for all things, that has empathy for people who come and seek a new life. Now, yes, were there criminals that came? Yes, they came. Yes. Drug dealers? Yes. They came. But they wouldn't have come if if there wouldn't have been people here who wanted these drugs. Nobody shoved them down their throat or up their nose. Nobody did that. They paid money for that. They came because they could. We have closed the doors now. Trump has done that. Did he do it right? Well, I don't know. It'll be debated. And history will have a word in that. But I can tell you that what is happening now is totally against all rules. It's totally against what America stands for. And I want you to examine yourself. And don't be afraid. I've been thinking about, well, you know what? I'll just go back to Europe. I can go back. But you know what? Running away doesn't solve anything. And talking over the dinner table with your compadres of either MAGA or Democrats or whoever and bitching about it, that doesn't solve anything either. Get engaged. Talk to your representatives. Tell your representatives, no, we don't want you to act like that. We don't want you to do what you're doing. Tell them what is needed in your community. Every community is different. And don't watch the news media that just riles you up, that sucks you in, that tells you everything is bad that party does or the other party does. Don't watch it. Don't buy from companies that you know are only there to get your money. They don't want to give you a good product. No. They don't want to give you good customer service. No. They only want your money. Don't go that. I have the same thing now. I have an insurance and car insurance company that is, I don't know. I mean, they just sort of like for a 20-year-old car, they want $1,000 in insurance money. No, I'm so fine. I canceled the car. I'm going to sell it, buy another car, and maybe even register it in a different state. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. Maybe walk. That's all right too. Keeps me healthy. You know what? We just have to have a little backbone. We have to have a little educate yourself. See what they are doing, what the politicians are doing. And call them up. Write them letters. Don't cuss them out. Engage them. And say, what are you doing? What are you actually doing for us? And don't tell me I'm a communist or I'm a socialist. I'm neither. I'm not a Republican either. I'm really just a concerned citizen. And I'm a compassionate person. And Jesus is not coming down to help us. And God is not going to strike you dead if you say, no, I don't want it. We, the people, have to be in charge. And if we are not, I am so proud of these people, of these women and these men that are going out there. I have been out there already. Who say, no, ICE, you have no right to do what they're doing. And civil war, is that really what we want? No. We want to engage in conversation. This is how this country was not made by it was made on gunpoint. Yes, we had a civil war. Do we have to do the same things over and over again? We haven't evolved. We haven't learned. Learn, educate yourself. And with that, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to be back next week. Maybe I will have a guest that will join me. And I hope that I sparked a very tiny spark in you to fight. Not a peaceful demonstration is good, but at the same time, tell ICE, no, no way. You are not accosting everybody. You're not breaking down the doors. You're not doing that. And we are more than they are. They can put 3,000, they can put 6,000 ICE agents out there. We are many more. Remember that. With that, I wish you a wonderful day. And do that little compassionate spark that you have in you, if you have it, nurture it. Be compassionate. Help others. Help each other. We have to help each other. That is the pioneer spirit of America that I so admired and that I wanted to be a part of. Have a wonderful day. I see you hopefully next week. Bye for now.